Do a little quick update on the Abarth. Nothing much to report, but I've got the new wheel on, which is good. Nice tyre, nice new tyre. And I bought one of these. I've seen these advertised, and I've seen a couple of cars up for sale with these on, and I think they look really good. So I'm going to put it on. So what I've done, in case you don't know what it is, it goes here, runs all the way along there, and when you've got the bonnet shut, you can just sort of see it poking out, and it looks really good. I've also got a thing that goes on the boot lid as well, which I may or may not put on now. I probably won't, because I still haven't even cleaned this car. So I've just used normal Williams waterless cleaning stuff to just clean it off. Then I've gone over it with cutting compound just to remove any wax or anything, so it's nice and sparkly clean. I've got soapy water there, and I'm just trying to find a squeegee. I know I've bought some, just got to find them, and then I'm going to put it on and see what it looks like. It is an adhesive backing, but you can, like the side stripes, you can do it using soapy water as well, and then it helps you position it and get any bubbles out of it, and then when it dries off it just sticks. So I'm going to put that on now. Wasn't very successful really. I used soapy water and it just was falling off, and then I put it where I thought it should go, and you couldn't see it at all. I've moved it forward a little bit, you can just about see it. I haven't trimmed it at the edge yet, so that was, I think, probably an absolute waste of time. Waste of, I'm not sure how much I paid for it, but whatever it was about 10 or 15 quid, but I wish I hadn't bothered now. I haven't trimmed it at the edges yet because it's just not stuck very well. So you can sort of just see it, but I don't think it's going to last. It's not even stuck at that edge properly, so I wish I hadn't even bothered doing that now. I've got one, also got one for my 500X as well, which shows up better, allegedly. Again, picture on it shows it, picture on eBay showed it quite well, but don't look very good. Oh well, it was worth a try. I'll persevere with it if I have to put some glue underneath it or something to keep it in place. It sort of looks okay, but you can't really see it very much. If you didn't even know it was there, you wouldn't notice it. Oh well, it was worth a go. I've also got some little red accents as well that I'm going to do this. I've got this that goes along here. I've seen it on other cars, I thought it looked good, so I thought I'd get one. It was quite expensive, I think it was 60 quid. It's not brand new, it's come off of another car. But allegedly, I messaged the seller, and I asked, does it just push on? And he said yes. Now it's got some holes underneath, which I'm imagining you're going to put some self-tappers in somehow. But it's got clips on the top as well, so I'm just going to wipe over this front valance, I suppose you'd call it. Give it a bit of a clean with the, I'm not convinced it just clips on here, you know, because I think it's a replacement. Let's have a look underneath. Yeah, it is. He told me it clips on, but it doesn't. That one comes off. It's got screws underneath, so it doesn't just clip on over the top. It replaces that one. I thought as much. Never mind, I'm going to take that one off first. It's just, I think it's just 3 Phillips screws, and then see if I can pull it off. See, there's several tabs. I've undone the 4 screws. Oh, this has got these tabs. So I'm going to have to try and line up where these tabs are with this one, and try and push the trim removal tools in to depress those tabs to get it out, because it won't budge. So I'm not going to film it. I'll put it on time lapse. I can't get it off. I don't know if it's I'm thinking that you need to have the bumper off to do it, because I'm going to end up breaking it. I mean, it's only flimsy plastic. I want to do it, but I don't really want to be taking the bumper off to do it. So I'm going to leave it for the time being, I think. It's a shame, because so there's 2 things I wanted to do, and one of them looks naff and the other one I can't do. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about that. It's about 60 quid I paid for that. I just can't even get the thing on. I was under the impression it just slipped over the existing one, but clearly not. So yeah, maybe I'll have to at some point take the bumper off. I'm not going to bother with it at the moment, but at some point in the future, once I've got the car done, maybe I'll take the bumper off and then I'll do it. I just thought I'd show you it, but never mind. it wasn't to be today. Good morning and welcome back to Project Abarth. Today I'm going to do the two seatbelts on the car. As you know, the seatbelt reels are fine, but the seatbelts were cut on both sides. So I bought new seatbelts, as I think I've already shown you, and so today I'm going to try and film as much of it as I can. It depends on how I can get the tripod into the car, but yeah, I'm going to give it a go. So the first thing we need to do is take the back seats out. So we'll do that, and then we can try and get the camera inside the car. So to get the seats out, what we have to do, see those two bolts there, we have to loosen those, and we've got the same on the other side. Loosen those, and then in the middle there you've got a torque screw where it joins in the middle, and then you can just lift the seats out. So we'll probably do that on time lapse. That's out. It was a bit fiddly, as it always is. I tried to not remove everything from the boot this time as well, as I normally do. And then what we now need to do is we go around into the car, and you've got one bolt either side, and then that the rear seat will just then lift out. Easy, really. Underneath that black panel there is the fuel pump. You take those 4 bolts off and the fuel pump is under there. Fuel sender unit, rather, I should call it, not a fuel pump. Also, what we need to do now is you have to remove this. You've got a screw just there, and then it just pulls off. I don't think there's any more screws. Oh yeah, no, sorry, there's another screw just there as well. So you have to release those two. I'm not sure whether we're going to have to, yeah we are, we're doing both, aren't we? So we're going to have to do it both sides. Do one side at a time and then put it all back on. So again, I'm going to do some of this in time lapse and some of it in real time. As you just saw, I've got those two screws undone, and then you just pull that panel off. That's held on by those grey, don't know what you call them really, those little clips. They're quite tight, they sort of grab on. They can quite easily fall out, they can quite easily break, especially when you're putting them back in again. So now what I'm going to try and do is set the camera up inside and show you how to get off the inside panel. Move inside the car. What we have to do, we move the seat as far forward as you can get it. I did do it this once when I took the seat out. It was a lot easier, but you don't need to take the seat out. So again, we've got more Phillips screws. I've got another screw down there, and then there's another one in there as well. And once you pull this off, once that screw's undone, you can just yank it upwards, move it outside of the car. You don't need to take it right off. So obviously the aim of what we've got to do is remove this panel. And to do this, ideally to do this, you remove that bolt. Now that bolt, as you can see, there's nice and silver. That's the seatbelt anchor bolt for the rear seatbelt. That goes to the outside weld, and unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, if you take that out, 1, you'll either never get it back in again, or 2, it will shear off because it's rusty the other side. So I tend to leave it alone as much as I can. So what I do is I undo all the others. You have to take this panel off, you've got to get this off, and then I just move it all out the way, which allows you enough room to get to the bolt for the seatbelt and the bolt for the pre-tensioner. That all has to come off. So I'm going to try and set the camera up on the stand, on the tripod, put it on time lapse and show you exactly what I'm going to do. So under there is the bolt, so obviously that has to come off, which allows you to take that off. There's another screw under there. Yeah, as I say, another screw under there as well, which you unscrew, and then this is all held on by just clips, and then you can just pull the whole thing off by clips, and then it will just bend on that bolt. And as I say, if you stand outside of the car, there's enough room for you to lead in, get a spanner or a socket wrench on the 2 bolts, one for the seatbelt, one for the pre-tensioner, and then they just lift out. So it's not a difficult job. It's just annoying that you have to take all this trim off. There's your wiring loom, the one that goes to the boot. What I am going to do before I do any more is I'm going to disconnect the battery. Obviously the seatbelts do have pyrotechnics in, as do these. I don't think these have gone because it hasn't pulled in the cable, but according to I keep calling it multi-ECU scam, the resistance is gone, so they do need replacing even though they haven't pulled through, which is a shame. Don't really know why that's the case, but it is, so they're just going to be replaced. I've got another set that I got with the seat belts, so we'll just change them. Well, we've got to change them, we've got no choice. So yeah, before you start fiddling around with seat belts or airbags, you need to disconnect the earth terminal of the battery. You don't need to take the battery out, you don't need to disconnect the live terminal, just taking the earth quick release off is enough. So I'm going to set the camera up now on tripod, and we'll put it on time lapse. Okay, as you can see, I've got all the screws undone. I've pulled the panel out, so the panel's just loose. As you can see down there, the pre-tensioner, because this pre-tensioner has not actually retracted the cable, it's more difficult to get that through the hole without taking that rear seatbelt mount off. But you can do it because you can sort of lift it up out of the way, and it's actually easier once you've got the bolt undone on the pre-tensioner. So I'm going to do it in real time, taking the pre-tensioner out, and then we'll take the seatbelt out as well. I'm going to try and film as much of it as I can in detail, but obviously it's a bit awkward with the camera, trying to get the camera in there, but I'll do my best. Would help if I had the socket. So you're better off doing this from outside the car, you can actually see what you're doing. So we've got 17mm socket on the one bolt that's on the, let's see if I can get this to come out. It's also quite awkward getting it back in when you get the new one in. That's it. Move that out of the way and then we can get to the bolt. And that's it, that's undone. Much easier. And then once you've undone this, you just need to undo the electrical connection. I've just realised I've got my glasses that go dark on, so it's obviously more difficult for me to see inside the car. Right, electrical connection just has to come apart, and then it lifts out. That's it. Job done. Well, it's not job done, I've got to get the new one in. So I'm going to mark this one up as more than likely broken. Well, we know it's broken. Don't know why it's broken, but it is apparently. I think it's broken on both sides. I'm getting the pop confused with this one now. Can't remember which one's which, but I've taken it out. I'm going to change it, and then we'll go from there. So right, let's get the new one. Get the right one, left hand side, so that's that one. So now we have to get that pedal through there a little bit. It's best to do it before if you can, but I think actually what I'll do is I'll take it back out. If you put the bolt in first, the bolts are very green actually, the way they've been. Do it up by hand as tight as you can first, and then get the socket wrench on it. There's no room to get a socket gun in at all, so you've got to do it with a wrench. Even with that, it's quite difficult, but it does save you any grief of breaking that bolt on the seatbelt, the rear seatbelt. That's that done up. Now, I'm not going to feed that through now, obviously, because I'm going to do the seatbelt now. So now I can't really show you. I'll try and get the camera through actually. Let's grab the camera if I can. Right, there's the seatbelt sitting in there. There's the one bolt just there. And you've got the airbag electrical connection on the top there. And then the other wire that you can see going off to the right there, I don't know if I can, oh there we go, that's the side crash sensor. So just need to undo that one bolt and then we'll get it out. Same size bolt. Not difficult to undo. Once you've got it started, it comes out easily by fingers. You have to undo the electrical connection on the top, which is off. And once this bolt's completely out, then the whole thing just lifts out. Obviously, if it's got a seatbelt attached to it, you feed it in through there. And there it is, a cut seatbelt. How annoying. I still want to see if I can do something with this and see if I can get an old seat belt, take the belt off and use the reel, because there's nothing wrong with it. That's a really annoying thing. Right, that's that. What I did forget to mention, on the pre-tensioner, show you on the old one, where the seat belt pushes into that, there's an ordinary crosshead screw, and you just turn the crosshead screw and it pops off. Obviously I didn't have the seatbelts in here, so I didn't do that bit. Okay, so that's taking the seatbelt out. Obviously putting it back in is the exact reversal. So I don't really think I need to show you how to do that. I'll just take the old electrical connection off of the, if I can get it off, that's it. Off of the pre-tensioner, then that can just be plugged back in. I'll do that now actually. Plug back in, pushed into position, right, that's that done. Okay, so now I'm going to get the new seat belt and put that in. Right, this is the new seat belt. So basically the seat belt just sits in, sits on the ledge where you put the bolt in. It literally just pokes on, turns around the right way. We feed that through there first, just to get it out of the way. Again, this is a bit fiddlier with this panel on, but I much prefer to do it this way rather than risk breaking that bolt. Push those through, out of the way. I need to pull some more of the seat belt through first. Once again, I got the seat belt around the wrong way. That's it. Get the bolt. It does help if you don't have your glasses on that go dark in the sunlight, because it looks like I'm working with sunglasses on. That's a little bit dark inside the car, that's it. Do that up like a hand. Put the electrical connection back on. Now we've got to get in the car. We'll put that on pause for a second. Right, so I've got in the car now, which isn't a very comfortable place to sit when there's no seats in it. So I'll fit the seat belt through. What I've got to do, which I haven't done, is feed through the pre-tensioner. So I can try and do that from here without doing it from inside the car. Outside the car would be easier. That actually did quite easily. So what I was saying about the other bit of the seatbelt, there's a bit of mould on this seatbelt, it's not wonderful. So as you can see, if you can get it, that's the crosshead screw, and all that does is push on there. then to undo it, you just quarter turn it, half turn it, whatever it is, and that will release it. And then that, you just need to take off the bolt. When you get second-hand seat belts, it comes with varying amounts of things that you need. So you've got this little nylon. It's not spacer. It's almost like it's a nut. But you have to get these off the old one on this case because they haven't come. So you put the where are we? Put that through like that. Get the little nylon thing and screw it on. What you sometimes find on cars that have had airbags blown, obviously not airbags, sorry, seat belts that have blown, bearing in mind they haven't blown on this car, is because that pre-tensioner pulls the seatbelt tight around the abdomen. What you sometimes get, depending on how severe it's gone off, I think, it seems to vary, is this piece of metal here. Hope you can see that. Let me see if that bit's in focus, or even in the shot. Let's move it up a bit. No, it wasn't. There we go. So this piece here, where the seatbelt bolts into, that often gets deformed and points downwards. So it's sort of, the bolt has pulled it downwards and pulled it out of shape. So when you're putting that bolt in, you're going in at an angle like that. So this gets stuck and gets tight on this panel. The only way I've found to get around that is put some washers in. It's a bit of trial and error. And as I say, it does vary, but it is a real pain. So now those bits are in, let's tilt back down. Actually, no, we'll leave the belt where it is for a minute. The camera on it. We need to start getting some of these screws back in and getting this panel back on. So we line up the tabs. And just push it all back in. Some go in easier than others. That's it. Just keep pushing until they all go in. And then start getting these screws back in. Where's my screwdriver? Lost my screwdriver now. There it is. So I say there's a bit of mould on some of these, on this seat belt a little bit, so I'm going to have to give that a good clean and disinfect. So once you've got that screw on, you can put this panel back in. The mistake I've made a few times in the past is I've screwed in the top of the seat belt and then realised I haven't put this on. So get this around the right way. This is just held on by a couple of tabs at the bottom. It's not screwed. They often break. If you can get them lined up to stop them breaking, so much the better. Get the roof lining tucked under it, and then you want, it actually goes on better with a, when they're deformed, it goes on better with a gun. But I think with this one, because it's not deformed at all, it's just going to go straight in. Yeah, it's going in 5, which is a novelty. Doesn't normally do that. You don't do it up too tight. You do it up more than finger tight, but if you do it up too tight, because when you do that with the seatbelt, it doesn't move. So again, sometimes you have to do a little bit of adjustment. That's it. That's fine. That's it. So that's it. That's how to change a seatbelt. So it wasn't that difficult, was it? So it's sorry, how to change a seatbelt and a pre-tensioner. So all I'm going to do now is put in all the screws back that you saw me take out before. Put the door rubber all needs to go back. Put that side panel on. This side panel on. Put that back on, and then we'll do the same to the other side. I'm gonna have to move the car for that so I can get into the car from the other side properly. But yeah, that's it. That's how to do it. I'm not going to film putting it all back together. But that's the basics of it. I hope that's really been helpful. Right, both seat belts are now done and pre-tensioners. As you can see, I've got the seat belt that was on there didn't have that bit, and I don't seem to have a black one. So I've had to put a cream one on there for now. It'll do for now. All it does is cover the bolt up. I put that there temporarily because that has to stay off. Because the next thing I'm going to do is the curtain airbag. I'm not going to film that because I've filmed that before. If you want to see how to change an airbag, curtain airbag, look at my other videos and you'll see exactly how to do it. First thing I've got to do is get out these little plugs that hold the roof lining in. I've got to take off that little quarter panel, or A-post cover, whatever you like to call it, and just take off some of the door rubber out of the way, and then we can sort of pull this out. Don't take it off, nightmare to take it off. Just drop it down out of the way, and then you can get to the bolts. It's about 4 or 5 bolts. It's not difficult. Yeah, reasonably easy job, just a bit fiddly, but yeah, we're going to do that now. As I say, I'm not going to film it. If you want to see how to do it, look at my other videos, but it will come back once that's done. And then once that's done, we'll attack the seat one. Okay, right. Sorry, I just had a funny text from one of my colleagues. Okay, so the airbag, curtain airbag's all done, all put back together. You barely even know it has been taken down. So that's all good. It's all connected up with the cables and that. All I've got to do now is just remove that again, put that panel back on, and everything else is done then. Then I'm going to attack the seat airbag. I've never filmed that, so I will film that one. I'll have to move the car for that, but actually I probably won't. But yeah, I'm going to come back in a second and we'll do that one. Right, now we're on to the airbag for the seat. I've ordered the cotton to sew this up. I've got some curved needles. I've watched YouTube videos on how to do it. I haven't got them, they haven't come yet. I've got the needles, but I haven't got the cotton yet. I think it's going to be a job and a half, but I'm going to give it a go and do it as best I can. But first thing we've got to do is change the airbag. So we've got inside here, I doubt if my camera's going to get in that well, but we've got two 10mm. Actually, I think it might be better with a spanner rather than a socket. Let me go and get a spanner. I'll just knock the camera. I hope that's in the right place. So if I show you on this one, hopefully the camera's picking that up. These are the 2 nuts that we're undoing. So the bag is in that way around. So we're going to the back of it, where it goes through the side metal of the seat. And there's just 2 bolts that hold it on. And then you've got the electrical connection at the top. So hopefully I can get in here with this spanner. It's awkward, again, they're always awkward. There is a little earth connection in there as well, which has to come off. I'm doing it the wrong way around there. Again, these things are fiddly, but my favourite word, not insurmountable. It gets to a point where you can do it by hand. But you have to push the foam out of the way. Right, let's see if I can do it by hand now. Oh, yes. You don't want to drop the nut inside the seat if you can help it. There we go, that's one nut. Put that there. Now we get on the top one. The top one is the one that's got the earth connection on it, so you mustn't forget when you put the new bag in to reconnect that. One way around again. Oh, excuse the camera knock. That's quite loose now, so we should be able to do it with your fingers. You just have to do it by feel, really. Get your hand in there. Oh, it's still a bit tight. These are much easier to do when the seat's not in the car. Much easier. Now I'm doing it back up again. Hope you're looking at the back of my head now. Sorry about that. Let's spin it early there. Right, let's try that. That's it. And then once you've done this, it pulls out enough for you to release the electrical connection. That's that one off. And then that should just pull out. There it is. You've got to try and get these electrical connections off, which can be really fiddly at times. Got the wrong sort of screwdriver here. I think I'm going to have to get an ordinary screwdriver. I'm just going to pause you for a sec. That came off quite easy in the end. Right, so as you can see in there, you might be able to see in there's your electrical connection. The earth wire is sort of still in position, so it's just a matter of getting it back on the bolt when you get the bolt through for the new one. So, take off those bolts. Well, it's easier to put the wires on first. I guess it probably is. This one's got to come off. They are really fiddly to get these plugs out. You sort of have to compress and push on the little clip, but sometimes they just don't seem to want to push in. Like this knee airbag on these cars, they never give you enough. Really, really awkward to get to. You just can't get to it. I'll come back once I've got it on. I'll be here all day at this rate. That's it. I found an easier way of doing it. If you pull the seat forward, it gives you a little bit more room to work. So I've connected it up, electrically that is. Push the two bolts through. Now we need to make sure that earth is on, which it's not at the moment, I don't think. Nope. Get that earth. Just don't want to leave that off. Imagine leaving that off and then sewing the seat up. How gutted would you be? You'd please excuse looking at the back of my head. Alright, that's on. Need to get the bolt on quickly before it comes off. Dropped it. No, I haven't. So fiddly. Oh, so fiddly. Earth's come off again. You know what? I'm going to put the bottom one on first. If I put the bottom one on first, then that'll help to hold it in place. Because the airbag is sort of pushing. Oh no, I've dropped it. Ah, got it. That was lucky. Fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. That's it. It's taken on the thread now. This must be boring viewing. I'm going to pause for a sec. There we go. It's all on. Just tightening them up now. It only took a few seconds, but not the most exciting of viewing. That's the top one with the earth on. Nearly that. There we go. That's it. Done. Electrical connections on. Double check. Can't see it. It is on, I know it's on, but I'm going to double check anyway that it hasn't come off somehow. Yeah, there it is. I can see it. Actually, you could get it off. You could get it on or off without taking the bag out. Just pulling it off a little bit, but it's on. Oh, excuse the camera. It's falling again. Right, so that's that airbag done. So that's ready for sewing up now. That's going to be fun. Once I've got the stuff, obviously at the moment I haven't got it, but not looking forward to doing it, but whatever job I make of it, it will do until I get a new seat. Right, okay, that's that for the time being. Right, we're back in the car now. So let's just recap what we've done today. So we've replaced both front seat belts, both front pre-tensioners, the seat airbag I've just finished doing, and of course the curtain airbag. So that's all the airbags that were blown in this car, and all the other sensors, i.e. the pre-tensioners that were causing faults. So I've just plugged the computer in. I haven't turned the ignition on yet. I've plugged the connector into the ODB port. OBD, whatever it is. Diagnostic port, isn't it? ODB, onboard diagnostic port. Is that what it stands for? I guess so. Anyway, so I'm excited now because I've done all the airbags and sensors that were faulty or blown. Computer's booted up. When I turn the ignition on, there should, in theory, be no airbag lights on. Let's have a look. Look at that, airbag lights have gone off. Let's turn the lights off. What's that? Check tyre pressures. We're not worried about that. Yep. There's no lights on, is there? No airbag lights on. So we'll go back to the computer. Where are we? 1.4 T-Jet multi-jet Abarth. That's that one. We'll connect to the airbag ECU. If you remember when we did this the other day, we got the errors up. They may still be showing here. Connection failed. No, that's good. Am I on the wrong one? 500 turbo, 16 valve T-Jet multi-air Abarth. I wonder if booted up the computer in the right order. Let me just quit that and then reboot it again. This is a very old people, doesn't even work. Right, let's try again. So 500 turbo, 16 valve multi-jet Abarth. Connect. Hopefully it'll connect this time. Waiting with bated breath. It takes a long time to connect to these for some invalid ISO code. We don't care about that. Let's look at the errors. So these errors may come up in blue still and say that they are intermittent, in which case they will go, they should just clear. Intermittent, there we go. Curtain airbag squip, driver's pre-tensioner resistance, driver's side airbag resistance. So if we go to clear errors, they should all go. No fault codes. That's it. It's done. Sorted. So the Abarth is sort of good to go now. Obviously there's still stuff I've got to do on it, all the dents and what have you. Back seats are still out. I haven't put those back in yet. I might actually give those a good clean while they're out of the car, and clean sort of all around the back as well. It gives you a good opportunity to sort of clean down there as well when the seats are out. So we'll do that. So I'm pleased with that. So that's probably taken me less than a couple of hours to do that, I think. But I'm really pleased about that. Let's have a quick look at the body computer. So that means I didn't need to get it reset, which is good. And obviously all those belts and whatever are all good. So let's connect to the body computer. There shouldn't be any errors, but there may be an intermittent one, like connection to the airbag unit or something like that. And don't forget, I've had the ignition, or rather the battery disconnected, so no fault codes. No, we're all good. We're all good. No fault codes. We'll just double check on the where are we? Dashboard, the instrument panel. Obviously, when I filmed this before and I couldn't connect to the Blue and Me, the facelift cars don't have Blue and Me, as I found out. Of course, they've got Uconnect, so they don't have a Blue and Me unit. That's why we can connect to it, because there isn't one. Something else I forgot to mention before as well. Well, not forgot to mention, sorry, since the last video was, let's just go back to this. I'll come back to what I forgot in a moment. I was going to look at the errors. There shouldn't be any errors on here. I don't think there will be. No fault codes. Okay, so right, what I was just mentioning was, as you know, we got all this dust and what have you, and strange things going on with the seat belts. Couldn't quite work it out, and I thought it was it seemed as if it was probably stolen recovered. I've done an HPI check, and it turns out that it was. I think it was the 23rd of December the car was stolen. It says stolen recovered, so whether it actually stolen on the 23rd, or it was recovered on the 23rd, or it was stolen and recovered on the 23rd, I don't know. But it was categorised as a Cat S and stolen recovered on the same day, which is very strange. So that explains it. So the thieves have cut the seatbelts, plugged in the seatbelt things into the seatbelt clasps to stop the bong 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 going, and when they've decamped from the police, they can do a quick runner. Seems a really odd thing to do, and I'm convinced that that's what those marks are on there. Whoever's cut the seatbelts has obviously done it with a knife, and I think the passenger has been sitting there cutting the side of the door panel with his knife, just for something to do. The minds of these people is beyond me, to be honest. They're just dregs of society. I hope they got caught, or I hope they got hurt in the accident. When I get the new key done, because as you know, I've only got the standard key, the spare key, I haven't got the remote key. When I get the key cut, I will, ordinarily, I would have got the any previous keys deleted from the body computer. But of course, because I've got the spare key, I don't want to do that. I don't know whether they can differentiate between a remote key and a spare key and keep one and not the other. I don't know, but bearing in mind I'm living in London and this car came from Chester, I think it's unlikely that the car thief is going to come back down and get it with the key, if he even had the key in the first place. I say he, they're usually he, aren't they? So anyway, yeah, that's the car for today. I think I might give it a wash because I haven't actually washed this at all yet. So I may give it a wash like I did with the pop the other day. Windscreen with a pop and the cabriolet were both done yesterday by my trusty windscreen man. So I was going to do the pop first thing this morning, but because one of my neighbours had her daughter-in-law come round to see her, which obviously she shouldn't be doing in our COVID-19 situation, but she blocked the end of my driveway, so I couldn't get the car off to bring it down this end of the drive to do work on that. I was going to do the seat belts today. In fact, I probably will do the seat belts. I might have a cup of tea and then I'll bring that car down and do the seat belt. So I may well upload a video of that car today as well. But this one's going to be done today. I might wait until I've given it a wash and do a bit more filming of it and a walk around once it's clean. Still got to clean it on the inside, and it's not as smelly as it was. It still smells a bit smoky, but as I said earlier, I will get it professionally valeted. So let's turn that off. What else have I got to say about it? This door I've got to sort out because this, I think this is a replacement door. I don't think this is a genuine door. I also think because on the pre-facelift they don't have this sensor, and this sensor almost looks a little bit crooked. In fact, it is a little bit crooked. So I think that somebody has got an old style door, used the wiring loom from this car, and has drilled and then riveted this sensor on. This is the place where the sensor goes on the facelift doors, but because it's crooked like that, I think it's been put on afterwards. So I think this is an old door. So I don't know. I'm trying to work out whether just to get another door or not. I don't know. I might have a look, see if there are any facelift doors available, because obviously this has got a little bit of damage on it, this one, which I was going to get repaired. I'm also going to have a go at it myself. But the reason the door card is still off is because that rod that I filmed before keeps popping out, as I mentioned. So I need to sort that out. Need to move the car out so I can get the door wide open and get a cable tie around that. At least, even if it's just for the time being until I find a door, then I can put this door card on. And also I'm going to change that door card as well. I might do that this morning. So here we go. I'm not even sure what the time is, to be honest. So that's it for the time being. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video on how to do these airbags useful. It's quite difficult to film when you've only got the one person and you're trying to do it on a tripod or holding it with your hands, but I've done the best I can. So I hope it was useful. And then we'll be back for some more, either on this one or the pop, or both even, within the next day or so. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm over 500 subscribers now. I'd like to get up to 1,000. That's my next step. I'll explain why later on, but yeah, I want to try and get it up to 1,000. So please, could you subscribe if you're a casual viewer? I've looked at my analytics and a lot of my views are casual viewers, not subscribers. The vast majority are. So please, please, please subscribe. Thank you, and we'll speak soon. Lovely sound. Right, I've got the seats back in. Rear seats are all cleaned up with leather cleaner on the back end of the car. Door card's been changed. They're all cleaned. Then we go around the other side. And that door card's been put on. And while I was cleaning that door card, guess what we found in the door pocket? One knife. So I'm assuming that's the knife that was used to cut the door card, and probably to cut the seat belts as well, I guess. So the police obviously missed that when they were doing their forensics. I've just gone over the damaged door and the side skirt and the bottom of the wing there with tar remover. There was a lot of tar, and the same goes on the other side as well. I've just finished doing that side. There was quite a lot, mostly on the spoiler and on the bottom of the door. It's a lot of elbow grease, but if you've never used this stuff, it's good stuff. Anything by Auto Glim is generally good stuff, but it takes a bit of elbow grease, as I say, but it does get it off. So I think that's probably the last job of the day now. Oops, mummy finger out the way. I don't know what the time is. I've no idea what the time is, but I've spent quite a good day out here. I've done quite a lot, so I'm pleased with this. I did want to get the pop done today, but I've been concentrating on this. So I think that's basically the end of the day today for filming for the Abarth. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope some of the stuff I've done on it has been informative, not too boring, and you haven't seen the back of my head too much. And tomorrow, hopefully, what's tomorrow? It's Saturday tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Sunday, we'll have some more content on the pop. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, I want to do, although I said that I was not going to monetize this channel, I do want to monetize it because I've been inspired by Joe Wicks and his exercise. Rather than giving it to the NHS, I'm going to give it to a local cat and dog charity that's not too far away from me, where I got one of my cats from 16, 17 years ago, who we unfortunately had to have put down a couple of days ago, and so I want to raise money for them. I'm not going to earn very much out of monetizing it, but I can't do that until I've got 1,000 subscribers. So if you're one of those viewers that hasn't subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. I need to get myself up to 1,000. Anyway, thanks for watching. As I say, please subscribe, please share it, please like it. Any comments, I'll try and answer as many as I can. Thanks for watching, and see you again in the next couple of days.